It's Week 13 of the 2025 season, and we'll get a look here at Marquez Callaway. He's coming off a game where he cleared the century mark with ease, over 150 yards. It's the Saints and the Falcons under the lights on Monday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Super Bowl. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Glad to be enjoying another week of football. And Charles, this is a contest that should make a former defender like yourself very happy, that's for sure, because we got a pair of top 5 defenses in the NFL squaring off. And opportunities to score, well, they figure to be extremely limited.
And partner, you know my smile is wide because this is a lot of fun for a guy like me to watch, as you noted. And if there's something else that we both know that these teams take pride in, it's how well their defense have done at controlling games and putting them in a position to win. Something else they're proud of, though, how high they rank in the rankings and become the top defense in the league.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Leading them out from Texas A&M at quarterback, Kellen Mond.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They start the drive with Counter, but he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Mond. Throw left side complete. That's Patterson. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Well, this defense for the Saints, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And partner, I would guess that in his head he's hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Jameis to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Winston. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 3rd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game.
And any kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards. You know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
They start with a give to Connor. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safety.
Example of it right there. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Again, it's Connor. Down to about the 22 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
The Falcons come in looking for win number 8 on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
A first carry for Tyler Algier.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think I like this drive a little bit better than partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
This is Connor running right. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Off the play fake. Mon.
And that is incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
The line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal.
Mon out of the shotgun.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kellen Mond, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one after the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get it on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off season about our season opener opponent. and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And sets him back for second down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. They'll try to throw now. Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they are able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks, you tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
The drive will start with Connor. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
54 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
One now on 1st and 10. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mon going to throw it. Got his man. It's London.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They run behind center with Connor. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On second down, a run with Patterson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. 3rd down, here's Algier. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Now Mon. Screen pass to Connor. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. All told, it's a loss of 8 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's Mon. Got a man, it's London. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Winston on 3rd and 2. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Winston. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Here's Kamara off the draw. Gets past one man. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Winston. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. To throw on 2nd and 10. Winston. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. To throw is Winston.
Finding Tolbert here over the middle.
Touchdown, Saints.
Jalen Tolbert.
His first touchdown of the year.
And the Saints are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was finished off by a Jalen Tolbert touchdown grab.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Well, the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. Looks to throw on first down. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Bond looks to throw. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give running right is countered. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where it was the Dolphins who were able to pick up the victory at home. Tavon Austin, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And as you see, they were losers earlier this afternoon. Baker Mayfield, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And it was the visiting Chicago Bears who come away with the victory. Justin Fields, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Saints, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Winston now to throw on first down. We'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Winston. Back to Kamara for another catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Jameis now on first down. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Yeah, man, it took a while. I appreciate you coming by every time. Now people are finally catching on.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
And Younghoe Koo is like super popular in the Madden universe apparently, because his stuff takes off really quick.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball. And they keep
it looks like, wonder if Kamara's hurt. So they got the backup in there.
This unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, never mind there yet.
Double down with the whole thing, because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well too. Very difficult task right now.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Sanders' kick is good, and that's going to tie us at 13. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So we get set to start this third quarter.
And Robert Connor, the speed merchant, is closing in on, I think, 1,300 yards now. And this is week 13, so we still got 4 weeks left. Still trying to get that 2,000 yards.
Lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
On 1st and 10, here's Mon. Dumps this one off to Algier. So no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mond into the hands of London. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Give to Algier from the shotgun. And oh, he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Saints. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
I wasn't expecting that.
And that, Charles, you have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the third quarter, those turnovers can change the tide of the ball game. And now it's up to their defense to try and bail them out. Got to take care of the rock.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. On second down, Kamara. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. To throw, Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the...
And it's intercepted at the goal
Oh,
line.
clutch, the headhunter. There we go.
Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a big chance goes by the wayside there. A tough break on third and goal.
Yeah, as a general rule, you know you're usually not going to win games with field goals. But in this case, they had 3 points in their pocket. I get what he was trying to do, but that's a big swing of momentum right there.
It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's got room. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Bond going to throw it. He's got his man, London, right side. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Ahead of the chains now, second and 2. Here's a handoff to Connor. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the counter, it's Connor. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Again, a run with Connor. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 112 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
As we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. But that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On the handoff, Connor. And he'll take it into the end zone.
Boom.
Touchdown, Atlanta.
There he is.
Play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Well, he was already over 100 yards running the football prior to this play, but this run may be his best yet.
I've got to agree with you on that one. We're looking at a guy running with extreme confidence, running in harmony and sync with his blockers. All of them kind of moving as one. And look at the end result. Big plays.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. And a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Jameis to throw it. And Callaway taking it in left side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A first down throw for Winston. He's got it complete to Tolbert. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take good shots.
drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. A busy night continues for Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
Set, ready.
Now Patterson to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Again, Patterson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Throw left side. There's London. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this 2nd half.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 2nd and 1, Winston. Flush to his right. Then he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Winston now. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Winston. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Here we go with Kamara. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. And now they've got their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
To try again after the sack. Winston looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3, but I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On second down, Connor looking for space. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, Keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Connor. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Winston and the Saints now down by 11. 1:51 on the clock. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Ready. On 1st and 10, Winston. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Here's Algier again on 2nd down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll run for it with Algier. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Let's go now.
Here's Mon. They're going for it.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
And this is picked up by the Saints.
And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
This offense has had its troubles moving the ball all night. So now you get in this situation, hard to imagine that suddenly they're going to start clicking and moving the ball downfield.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it.
Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Falcons, the win is their 8th on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.